Well, the big dance is here. The 2026 Commonwealth Cup Final is upon us. We've got the Canadian touring team that we've seen here all week up against a select Australian side. They are about to do battle in a pretty wet and miserable Melbourne night. Lachlan Williams joining you behind the microphone. Well, I've got a friend joining me tonight, Jackson Bybee, joining me behind the mic for this big game. Welcome, Jackson.
Hey, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a great night to have some lacrosse, great weather.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit of a white lie potentially, but it's certainly eased up maybe a touch than what we had maybe 20 minutes or so ago. It still is steady drizzle that we've got here at the Lewer box court.
Yeah.
And the court is, well, it's pretty wet out there at the moment, Jackson.
Yeah, hopefully the Canadians brought their ice skates. There's going to be a lot of slip and sliding today.
Well, I've had the privilege of watching these teams a few times, or the Canadians a few times this week, and a lot of the Australian players as well, Jackson. Compared to previous years, it certainly looked a lot closer, and I think this rain, well, this could be a bit of a wild card. It would probably favour Canada, but this match is going to go either way, I reckon.
Yeah, I would imagine the Aussie Grit's really going to come to play here. This is Australian weather, in Melbourne at least, and Canadians, they're in winter right now, so they're used to playing in the cold. They also play indoors.
Well, we've got first face of the night. Jacob Spilkin gets the job done for Australia. We'll say that he gets the job done. There was a break that helped him out there. I think that's going to be a spot that Australia will look to get a bit of advantage tonight. They have been really good at the X through Spilkin throughout the week, so we'll wait and see what he has in store.
Australia with the first shot on gauge. Something going on with the shot clock, though. It's at 0.
Yeah, so I think our officials will look to sort that out shortly. There has been, as we said, quite a lot of rain around today.
Yeah.
And, I wonder if that's had anything to do with the weather.
Oh, nice little back check from the Aussie squad. Penalty on the way.
So Canadians really good, get the keeper off. They'll get the 6-5 advantage for this possession. Shot clock's still not counting, so...
By the looks of it, looks like the trail official is counting down.
That's a good save.
Reset. And Australia picks up the ball. We have a Australian number 18 with a cross check.
That's going to be Fabian Hall that's going to sit for a few minutes. Fabian Hall, one of the younger players out here tonight. Although we will see him in action. To be honest, Jackson, I haven't really had a look at the Nationals lineups. Had a look last night. Fabian Hall's going to make his Nationals debut for Victoria this week. He'd still only be 16 or 17, I think, Fabian. So really good to see him getting some experience out there and also getting out there tonight.
Yeah, no, good on him. He's a big boy. He really likes to use his body. I had the opportunity to watch him play with Storm against Canada the other day, and he likes to slide. He loves the boards, and he uses it as a second defender, as he should be.
Yeah, definitely not afraid to use his size at all. So we got the first power play of the night, heading the way of the Canadians.
Shot clock's back up.
Yeah, that's good to see. The weather does cause a few headaches with all sorts of the setup, and it's nicely done from the Australians.
Australians on their way in the transition. You got a 1v3. Rest of the squad comes up. We got the ball on the near side, throwing the ball around. There's 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Ball far side, or near side, sorry. 3 seconds left. Need a shot off here. Oh, what a save by the goalie.
That was Luca Dillon with the shot there. Numbers just transitioned just in time for Australia. Luca Dillon for the Australians just took that shot. Jackson saw him get a double digits game the other day, 10 goals to his name, so he'll look to carry some of that form forward tonight.
Get that confidence carried on into this game for him.
Shot denied again.
Yeah, these ground balls in the pool, in the water pools, they're a bit brutal. You really got to dig deep, get low, have both hands on the stick. Dig for it.
No room for half steps tonight, that's for sure.
No. Can't go soft into the ground ball scrum.
So I do have to apologise. Can't quite see the number. We'll have to keep an eye out for that one on the goalie in there, Jackson, so we can let you know who is between the pipes. But whoever it is.
We got 30 here. So
that's going to be Lucas Deshawn. If I would have had a guess, I would have gone with Lucas. He's been probably the form goalie for the Australians throughout the week. I reckon that's going to be Marek Corbier, if that's a 3-0 between the pipes for the Canadians.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So pretty up and back start at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say these jerseys are quite difficult to see the numbers. We've got them on the sleeves, on the back, not so much the front.
So Hall straight out of the penalty box, making his presence felt. Good penalty kill from the Aussies. I'll be pretty happy with that start so far.
Got a Aussie slide on the far side, denying that shot, and ball's loose in the far corner.
It's nice awareness there from Deshawn. That's probably one of the things that has really made a difference from him to the other goalkeepers throughout the week. Not afraid to leave the crease, get a stick on the ball.
Got a turnover. Canada's in transition. 1v2.
Across to Hatches. We've seen he's been one of the big goal scorers this week and gets underneath onto the left hand. Big opportunity here and goal number 1 of the night.
And 1. We got a penalty on the far side, or near side. Way to take it to the rack.
Yeah, we've seen from him throughout the week, Jackson, that he's not afraid to get underneath, and once he gets that left hand goal side, good luck stopping him.
Hey, I mean, he's increasing his leverage with a better angle, getting under and back up top. And the penalty is waved off, so we're going to have an even face-off here, 5v5.
So it's Sam Tonelli for Australia, Colin Bloom for the Canadians. It's Tonelli that wins it back. Once again, it's 2 from 2 at the X for the Aussies.
Great rollback, avoiding danger on the Canadian bench.
Dillon, now Hall on that favoured left. I think the interesting thing here for the Australians, the 3 composite teams we've seen throughout the week, there's been an interesting balance of left and right, whereas tonight they can take their pick, and well, that's one of the lefties getting to work. Fabian Hall equalises for Australia.
Great find, great skip pass, passing on the near side to the far side. That's just got good ball movement. Like you said, like this group, Australian lacrosse in general, like there's something special going on, and skills they're developing. And what a beautiful place to do it in Altona. This pitch in general, it's one of the best in the country.
So another break from Canada. It's 3 from 3 at the X for the Aussies. Now, I've got an apology to make. I have been calling the Kernaghan boys Kernahan all week, so apologies to all the Kernaghan family members. That was Orlando Kernaghan in possession there. We will get that one right tonight.
I'll leave that one with you. My pronunciations are a bit rough as I'm American. I do use my R's. Australia.
That's a missed pass cross crease, but the ball really slows up on these in these wet conditions, so it's not going to roll away. Fabian Hall testing his luck again.
He really enjoys using his momentum with the shot. Canadians are a little unhappy with the official's call there. Looks like it's going to be an Australian ball. And we got a Canadian in the box.
Yeah, so it's going to be Ryder Anderson set.
He's the one that got fucking drugged out.
Canadian coaches are really not happy.
Yeah, not too happy. They have maybe ants in their pants throughout the week. I think Jackson have been a little bit anxious and yeah, not afraid to voice their concerns. I think important to note tonight, Jackson, that even though that ball did beat the Aussies that time across the halfway line, don't be given up too easily. There is quite a lot of water at the half line, so if that ball's rolling towards your defensive half, put in that extra effort, you might just keep it.
Especially on this west side of the field. I believe that's the west side. I'm a bit lost without mountains. Nice fake, toe drag, and loses the ball in the swimming pool right in front of the crease on that side.
So I got Harper on the outlet. He's just going to hold up and wait for some numbers to arrive for some help. Dylan.
Pass back on the far side, swings it to the near side, and
So this is the one that I've talked myself up and out of it, yeah, but maybe it's 5 metres too far, that pool of water, but you can just see it sitting there right now.
Yeah, there's no drainage underneath this turf, is there? So a huge shout out to the maintenance and volunteers for squeezing the water off the field between games.
Yeah, done an awesome job, and the Aussies have done an awesome job here. They got a 2v1 opportunity if they want to pull the trigger. The help there was interesting to say the least, and interesting turns into illegal. It's going to go away of Canada.
The Canadian penalty is released. Back to full strength on both squads. So we got just about 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Tied at 1-1.
We've seen throughout the week in a few of the games goals galore, but the last couple of games have really tied up, really settled down in terms of the goal scoring. And that's what we've seen so far. I think the rain playing a key part in that right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple attributes to playing in the rain, right? I mean, number one, pitch is going to be slippy, but also just what it does to the stick. Wet mesh is not easy to feel the ball and control the ball. And something you learn through the years playing in wet rain, you just got to take care of your stick when you're not playing. Make sure it keeps the form, pocket, so you can get that touch still going and consistent.
Definitely. So Majorki up to Harris. It's been quite up and back, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a patient set. As I say that, the shot comes early. They do get the reset to the Canadians. Ball movement just a touch slower than we've seen so far this week. Plenty of space here for Jakubo, and that's too much space there.
Very nonchalant celebration of him and his teammates, just slight high fives around. Just another day, another goal.
Business.
Add it to the scoreboard, just tally for the boys. Canada is on a business trip, that's for sure.
So it's another win at the X for Australia. That's 4 from 4, make it. They give the ball right back. Tonelli puts the heat on Hildebrandt. Good enough to get out of it. And underneath, no one comes at him, so he just pulls the trigger, and that's 3-1 Canada.
Wow, he made it look easy. He's done that before. That's for sure. I mean, Canada has one advantage. They have the NLL in their backyard. Yeah, they're watching the professionals play out on the weekends, and just accessibility. That's really the disadvantage for the Australian squad is just not a pure professional lacrosse you get to watch.
One more in the middle for Australia. And of course, this is the first time that these Australians are playing together as a unit, as the Canadians have played the last 3 days together.
Some have probably played as young blokes too.
Probably, yeah.
The bobbleheads, we call them. It's cute as everything. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's toddlers with helmets on. Looks like they're a bobblehead.
So Harper, after missing the ground ball, keeps it safe. He's going to get himself into some heat here. Nice little one-hander out of it, and he didn't like the treatment he was getting either. And right in front of us, there are some hands being thrown, and I reckon we might see some players that are going to sit for a little while here.
Yeah, there's no room for that for international lacrosse.
That might be the last of Adam Harper for today, I reckon. That might be sit for your time and don't come back.
Yeah, it was a bit handsy on the face mask of the Canadian. give the Canadians a bit of a shout out for not retaliating on that. Way to keep your cool. It's quite friendly. Stereotype stance. It's going to be a 5-minute major.
So just the 5, but no game misconduct, so he does get to come back.
All right. Yeah, he'll need to go have a think about that.
Certainly not helpful for the Aussies right now, though. Conceding the last couple of goals, and now they've got to play the next 5 minutes, a man down.
No easy task. And mind you, there is 4.5 minutes left in the quarter.
Well, that's one goal off that major penalty, courtesy of Tobin Dugan. Wasting absolutely no time on the man up.
You know, the Canadians are going to punish you on the penalty game. They froth in the ball movement, and they really like to cause the defense to slide and make mistakes. They're going to wait for the Aussie squad to make a mistake and just capitalize on them. It's a game of finesse across.
So another face-off win for Tonelli and Australia. And he's in big trouble here, is Orlando Kernaghan. He just needs to put the Jets on and get out of it. That's exactly what he does. Gets the support at the top from Hall now. And somehow they've got Kernaghan wide open on the crease.
And it looks like it's going to be an Aussie ball.
There's going to be a Canadian that's going to sit for some time now. Aiden Watson goes to the box. He's going to sit for a couple for a cross-check by the looks.
Yeah, the tensions are high between these two squads. Definitely.
Tonight, don't worry too much because there's plenty more action coming over the rest of the week. Oh, that's a big hit into the wall. I don't know about you, Jackson. I don't know if we'd like to see exactly what happened, but it looks like maybe he slipped into the wall more than the push. But
we'll take a look on the replay.
Anyway, we hope the Canadian players are all right, but we'll wait for the call. I mean, if they're calling this one, it's got to be a boarding call. But from the first angle, it looks like maybe there was more of a slip. We'd have to go back and have a look at it. But just unfortunate, I think, is what I'm going to call it.
Once I would say these boards are not forgiving. They are pretty sturdy. They don't give in like a typical ice hockey rink. So hitting at a full velocity, it's going to do some damage on you.
So he's only going to sit for a couple of minutes for a boarding. So it's, I think, an interesting case study in lacrosse and the way that people see things, Jackson. Probably from the Australian side of things, I would have seen that as a incidental and a slip. The Canadians probably saw it a little bit differently, and you might be able to pick up in our microphones.
Yeah, I mean, we got to remember these athletes are... There you go. Power play goal by Canada.
Well, wasting absolutely no time at all. That will get one of the Australians back out in the court. I think that should take care of the major penalty. Yeah, it's going to be... No, that's the minor that comes out. So back to 4v5, still in favour of the Canadians, but they are right on top now. 4 goals to the good.
They are definitely making Australia... They're punishing Australia for lack of discipline. You got to keep your head cool. Game is full of runs, though, and there's plenty of game left for the Aussies to go on a run.
Apologies, there is a Canadian still in the box, so it's 4v4 out there right now. The intensity high for Canada. Hildebrandt gets past one, too easy. Good save there from Deshawn, gets that one wide.
Great butterfly slave. Really got into the turf on that. Another shot on the way.
Yeah, gets another one. I think they copped another tip, but Deshawn's going to track that one down. So it's Nabi that helps on the clear. They can push this if they want to, Australia. They just decide to hold it up.
Canadians did a full field or full squad swap.
Ball arrives from the box. Shot clock down to 7. So Ma, first time we've seen him, and it's not a bad first touch of the game.
Hits the far pipe on a nice step down from the near side, and gives a nice little wave to the Canadian bench.
I was saying the other night that I've watched Ethan Ma for a few years. I had the pleasure of coaching him 1 year, and the maturity that he's shown and development that he's had the last maybe year or so, and it's evident. It's been evident this week, and I think played the best game of his career a couple of nights ago, and it's just been awesome and really mature performance, which I've been really impressed by.
Yeah, it sounds like he's just getting started.
Big time. And good pedigree with Rodmar as a dad. Once again, it's Australia from the middle. Going 100% from the face-off. The conversion rate's not quite as important as they are in the field game, obviously, but still getting first use at it from the draws.
5 seconds on the shot clock, and Canada gets a turnover.
So he's got to get back here.
Fast break, 1 to beat, 2 to beat now. That's one beautiful thing about box cross. Your subs can save.
Yes, exactly right. Box on the defensive side this quarter for the Aussies, luckily on that occasion. Under 2 minutes to play. Hatches, Dugan gets the shot. Smart idea using the turf, and that is some big, heavy checking from Deshaun, and there might be 2 penalties coming there. That was a bit agricultural at the very least.
That's a fucking fine.
Canadians are not quite happy.
No. Now this call, maybe we won't use the same adjectives, but I probably would agree that 5 minutes probably coming here.
Yeah, so I mean, what happens when the goalie gets a slash call?
So we got the home player goes and sits in the box. So it's Ma, after scoring that great goal before, he's going to have to sit some time for his goalie.
It's a good team player right there.
The question I do not know is if it's a check that's bad enough to get kicked out of the game, does he have to leave the court? I'm actually not too sure about that one. I would assume so, but maybe that's not what's being judged right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say recently in the NL they had Dobson with that gnarly cross check. I believe he was ejected.
Yeah, okay.
We are playing separate rules compared to the professional National Lacrosse League.
So he's going to sit for 7 minutes there. So it's 5 minutes major for a high stick, 2 minutes minor for a slash, and gets to stay in the game, does Deshaun. There are 2 other goalies on the sidelines for the Aussies.
He drops out whenever he steps on it.
We got a minute and a half left in the first quarter. And again, another major shout out to the volunteers and Victoria staff for assisting in every way that they can to squeegee the water off the court. They're taking care of that most troublesome pool just near midfield in front of the Australian penalty box.
Yeah, definitely echo there, Jackson. And you can volunteer at any age. There are a couple of young kids out there right now getting the job done. I think that might be, we will shout him out. That's the Mason siblings, Blake and Annika Mason. Really good to see them doing the job. And Annika's actually going to be out here tomorrow playing for Victoria. So,
Unsung heroes.
Exactly right.
For this tournament week, absolutely. Mother Nature called, and we opened the door. All right, so Canadians are starting ball at midfield. Ball's on the near side corner.
There's 5v3 out there right now. Players slipping and sliding all over the place.
Oh, what a save. Way to step with that. Deny the top corner.
And I think with the 7 minutes of penalties, he's going to have to make a few more to make up for it too. And that's one of them. Again, ball just sitting in that crease area. You've got to put your head over it here, boys. No still feet.
A little bit of tabletop by Jack. Falling over the Canadian in the swimming pool, just in front of the Australian crease. Canadian players are frustrated with their teammates, as that was not the power play that they chose up.
So the first Australian penalty is outside the game clock right now. 50 on the penalty, about 30 on the game clock. So there will be 3v5 to finish the quarter.
Hall gets triple teamed and Canadians off to the races. 1 to beat.
Zinski.
Backside transition play and made the smart decision by pulling out a near side corner.
Good test of the game awareness here. 15 seconds on the quarter. Do the Canadians have that recognition? I would probably say that they will. You can hear the call, but a couple of fumbles.
Great look. Hitches on a step down, but passes up towards the backside and just misses cage, and ball gets stuck in the fencing.
Well, that's going to be that for the first term. That's a 5-2 lead to Canada. Action-packed first quarter, one filled with plenty of penalties, and well, I think if the Aussies can stay out of the box, that's going to be their number one target for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what a wonderful first quarter. We'll be right back to you in a little bit.
Second quarter awaits us. It's a 3-goal lead to Canada. Thoughts on the first quarter, Jackson?
Pardon?
Thoughts on the first quarter?
That was action-packed. I mean, I think we said it right before we signed off for a bit. Aussies really need to figure out how to stay out of the bin. Canadians, they're going to take advantage of those power plays, and they're really going to punish for the lack of discipline. But it is physical on both ends. Aussies did show up with that grit, and we'll see if they can do it for all 4 quarters and dig themselves way out of this three-goal differential.
Well, the problem they've got right now is they've still got only 16 seconds on the first penalty, so they'll be 3v5 for 15 seconds, but another 5.5 left on the second. So pretty much a third of this quarter, they are going to be playing man down, and that's just to start without giving away any more.
Oh, yeah, it's the name of the game.
So another break from Canada, or are we going to redo this? That looks like a red break to me, but do it again.
Officials are quite nice on that call. Very instructive.
Australia continue the dominance at the face area. Another win, but it's going to be Canada that come up with it here. Plenty of heat up on the boards. Oh, and they've got the fast break here. That is too easy. Watson away to the races.
Finishes it, and the Canadian bench goes wild. Big celebration on the near side. High fives and fist pumps all around. Just good camaraderie. Butchered that one.
And he's really coming down now.
Yeah, it's doing that twisty thing. Sideways, twisted, vortex.
It's Melbourne at its finest.
could not have waited for a better week. And that pool just in front of the Australian penalty box is back up and running too.
Yeah. So I think they were just clarifying what is happening over in the box. So one of those Australia penalties was clear before the goal. And so that's just one goal off the major.
Yeah, the goalie had 2 penalties, didn't he?
Correct.
Yeah.
No, yes. So we're under 5 minutes on that penalty. So that's now a penalty on the major rather than clearing his minor. So another Canadian goal here, and we'll be back to even strength. So the Aussies keeping the ball safe on the transition, but they're going to get no time to settle here. Canada really happy to put out that press that they've got the extra man for.
Yeah, these Aussies they're pretty quick, using their legs to run away from danger.
So Dylan just throws that one away with the shot clock expiring.
Great field awareness.
They've done well to kill some time. 4 minutes on that penalty now. There's an argument to be made that conceding right now is not the worst thing in the world for Australia. It would get them back to even strength a little bit quicker. But if they don't concede, that means that they'll have defended pretty well for 4 minutes consecutively. We'll wait and see. Good save
what a
again.
save. That's a tough play from Jack. I mean, when you see a ball right in front of the crease, you cannot let the offense pick the ball up.
And that's just a little bit of that experience coming in. We've seen that a few times, mainly from the Australian boys throughout the week. Just taking that ball back through the defensive crease. But it's all a learning experience. All these guys are still pretty young.
Oh, what a great defensive slide from Hall. Oh, my apologies, that was not. But it was number 26. Oh, we'll give it to Harley Stevens. Great slide on that, mate.
So Jared Jean over the hall, little fumble there. Not too panicky on the ground ball. He puts the heat on, but can't.
Ball at midfield.
So because they were coincidental fouls, they're just going to cancel each other out. Fabian Hall, I think that was Bauer Day Ryder for the Canadians. They're going to serve their time, and they're going to get some people to replace them. 5v4 out there now.
Canada with the ball on the far side corner.
So Dugan. Nice ball movement from the Canadians. Just that's that wet stick I think you're talking about before. Jackson just sees that ball fly over the top.
I would reckon Jack got a lift on that. Again, Canada takes advantage of the power play and really forcing the Aussies out of hand here. With a great step down, getting past the goalie.
So if I'm correct, I reckon that's 2 goals off that major penalty. So yeah, we can see Ethan Mars heading back out. We're back to 5v5.
Canadian ball. Getting a line change here.
Ethan Mark.
The Australian offense is really taking advantage of the backside exchanges. Really setting up each other.
And it's a rare reset here for Australia. They haven't had too many second chance opportunities. And they're going to try and get a third chance here, but they certainly do. They force the turnover. Looking for the shovel shot was Anthony Green, missing wide.
It's a great effort. honestly. I mean, Australia is desperate for a goal. Close out that margin a bit. Canadian players are quite frustrated getting back on the bench about that turnover, or lack of turnover. They weren't happy with how many shots were taken. We got a stick deflect by the Australian. Aussies are in transition on the far side, setting up the offense, getting a shift change.
Sticks up, boys! Head away! I can see it's dropping, I'm not sure. Get there, get there.
Canada with the ball on their side, getting a personnel change.
So Hatches wants to get back onto the left and gets in and under and all the way through. Good save again.
Splits the double team, but it's not good for the Aussie goalie as it gets the stop. Ball's loose in the near side corner, and then Australia picks up the ball and off to the races. Not if the officials have something else to say.
There is another penalty coming for Australia. They just can't help themselves at the moment. Penalties galore.
It's not hard, is it? It's not that hard, is it? Stay out of the bin.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Ah.
So it's Harper that's going to sit for a couple.
No, it is. Canadians are just too nice.
They have been great guests over the last week or so. I haven't spoken to too many of them, but I'm sure they have enjoyed their time in Melbourne despite the inclement weather we've served up the last couple of days.
How could you not? I mean, like this is the first time for a lot of these athletes, the first time in a different country, different continent, and definitely first time in the Southern Hemisphere for most.
Yeah, sure.
These are core memories being made by these athletes, and they're going to be making a lot of friends off the pitch. Not so much on the pitch. We should be hitting each other.
Exactly right.
Bit of contact. And a follow through here.
So a shot from denied again. Second chance here for Australia. Green looking to get underneath. Where's this ball going to end up? Nicely done by the Aussies to keep it. I think the shot came thinking the shot clock was winding down, but
what a ripper.
It's worked out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, that righty sweep, getting your hands free, increasing your angle, hitting near side pipe. Great shot from the young bloke. Face off, Canada picks it up into the offensive zone, and they have a 1v1. Oh, great save by the goalie's keeper. Canada with the ball on the far side, moving the ball through 7. Kogan with a shot. Aussie's defense tips it, and goalie gets the save. Canada in transition, 2v1, one to beat, sends the ball to his teammate on the far side, and the goalie steps in, saves it. Canada with another shot clock reset, toe drag on the far side with a shovel pass, and turns the ball over at midfield.
Fresh out of the box comes Harper. That timed it really well. He's got it in their favoured left too. Crease dive.
Oh my goodness, great timing, great transition, and he has something to tell the goalie, that's for sure.
I don't know about you, Jackson, but I can feel something in the air now, that something has changed in the last 2 minutes.
You can smell that, eh? It's not the rain. It is Aussie grit.
So back within 3 are Australia. Now, I'm actually not too sure who the coaching staff is for the Aussies tonight. It could be any one of Wade Hammond or Dan Hall, potentially, maybe both. I would be imploring my boys, you got to stay out of the penalty box, fellas.
Absolutely. I mean, we really hit the hammer on the nail with that one. You'd be a great coach. Lucky.
Well, another possession from the middle. So it just feels like things have shifted a little bit. The rain is coming down even heavier than, it's probably the heaviest we've seen it in this game, and another good chance.
What a great split pass there. Really splitting the 3 Canadian defenders on that far side. Was no good for the goalie though. Bit of cherry picking on the Canadian side, and they decided to pull it out, get a shift change. Canadians over here, they're quite phenomenal, honestly.
That's a nice feed inside, but good coverage again. They get the second chance, do the Canadians. Good double team.
Oh, way to show up, Jack. Jack Higgins. Throw his surname is there as well. He's quite physical. I had a chance to play with him in Adelaide. He loves jamming the offensive player.
Yeah, we've seen him this week. Not afraid to use his body, that's for sure.
No. He has quite a bit of passion, too. A great teammate. Had the opportunity to play with him. Great to see him at the national level.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's quite young, too.
So I think it's important. We're probably just seeing maybe a little bit of inexperience from both teams here. That the adrenaline getting the better of both of them, I think, on the transition, trying to zip the ball around. You just got to remember that the ball's not going to move as well as it does
Canada,
in the dry conditions.
Canada has power play. The goalie came out to the bench, so they now have a 6-man on the offensive side.
And there was no reset there, so.
I believe Canada's issued a bench warning. A little bit too much of banter.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
A little bit of feedback from the head coach.
So it's Spencer Drinkall that's going to serve 2 minutes for a cross check. I think that was only 2. Yeah, just the 2 minutes there. And they should be used to this now, the Aussies.
Oh, what, being the man down?
Yeah, they've played enough of it so far tonight. Got to get those sticks up in the lanes. Canadians are going to look to pick holes through this zone. And just a little skill error.
And that rolled in Australia's favour. It's turnover.
And just a little hack here that I don't think we're stopping the clocks on loose balls like that. So if I'm an Australian and the ball's just heading down to my bottom corner, I reckon I'm going to get there in my own sweet time if you're my man down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So to see if there's any of that game awareness from them. They're keeping the ball nice and big here. Good to see. Less than 10 on the shot clock, so are they going to try and get one look at it, or are they just going to give this one up by the looks?
I'd say you just need to burn it. It looks like Australia's defenders, they're looking to cut off the transition already. They have 3 back.
2, 3. 4. 5.
Hatches. Now Dugan again, just a missed pass. No harm done. They'd keep possession, but shot clock down to 10. A shot comes, denied once again.
Ball's in the far corner. Shot clock reset.
So less than 30 on the penalty. Australia really needs just to hold on here. They've played a great penalty kill right now, but they just got to hang on for the next 20 seconds, and it's their keeper that's doing the work to keep them safe right now.
Great save, honestly.
10 on the penalty, so they will be even if they can just hold out for a second here. 2-1, and we are back to even strength right now.
Behind, great drill.
Great penalty kill from the Australians.
It's It's probably their best. Barely spoke too soon, but another Canadian goal.
So Tobin Dugan, that's number 3 tonight for him. Goals at a premium right now. And I think that's probably the conditions coming into play there, Jackson. He just put that low, and I reckon it's hit the goalie's pad and slid underneath it. So Lucas has got a piece on it, but with these conditions, it's really hard to keep it out once you lose track of it.
Yeah, that ball's going to skid. So if he's not getting all the way down onto the pitch, there's some room. Ball's just a few centimeters large too, so there's really no room.
Once again, it's a penalty that does the damage for Australia. That momentum that they built to get within 3, couple goals in a row, they get that penalty. They didn't concede on the penalty, but just slow things down, allowed Canada to regain some composure. And back out to 4 goals now and looking comfortable in possession. Nicely done and good collection from Deshaun. He's got nothing to hit there, though. He's just going to have to heave it.
Oh, no, that's not good. Great rebound control, but he uses follow through and hits the Canadian rider on Canadian ball now. Giving some crease cranks and got another save. Fans behind the boards back there underneath the Vic Box Lax banner, cheering on the Australian goalie.
Good to see.
Australian lacrosse is one big happy community, that's for sure.
And another example there.
Great save, mate.
I'd be inclined to let him play it out, to be honest.
Desperate
Nice
pass, but it worked. Got a 1v3, pulls it out.
That was a great outlet. I'm not sure if he meant all of that or not, but claim all the credit for sure.
Yeah, you got to take the luck as much as you can.
So Orlando Kernigan.
30 seconds left in the quarter. 4 on the shot clock.
We saw him let one loose before. Inside of the pipe, back of the goalie, back of the net. All clear.
Cleared for takeoff. As Tony Watts would say, tink, tink, tink. Hits the near side pipe to the far side pipe and bar down. Well done, lad.
Yeah, why not? He's got a bit of a hot hand at the moment. Ethan Mark, nice finish.
It's, like I said, like box cross lacrosse in general, it's a game of runs. It's momentum based. Australian squad is feeling it right now, and they have the green light. 21 seconds left in the second quarter.
So the Canadian coaching crew not happy with the defensive efforts. We'll see if they can lighten the mood with a late goal here to head into half-time.
How Canadian, making a trucking reference. Had a chance to go to Oshawa with the Australian Sixes squad, both men's and women's. And man, Canada's a beautiful country. Great host, too.
Well, that brings us to the main break. It's featured plenty of Australian penalties once again, but we have a game on our hands here at halftime. It's 8-5 in favour of Canada, but certainly the Australians would come into the main break pretty confident, I reckon. Jackson, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, Australia coming back from a pretty big threshold. Canada, they're going to need to have some locker room talk through the coach. Just saw the 2 goalies giving each other fist bumps, so that's great. Great on them, good on them, and they're feeling it. They're making the effort, using their full energy, and trying to put their teams on the best chance of winning this game that they have.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's a 3-goal lead to Canada right now. We'll take a short break and be back with you for the second half in a few minutes' time. No. Right, third quarter. Back underway. It's a 3-goal lead to Canada. A little fumble to get us underway, but Australia will take the first possession. Big check on Ethan Moe. Needs to get himself out of it here. No, it does really nicely.
I felt that one.
Yeah. Lachlan Williams behind the microphone again, joined by Jackson Bybee.
It's a pleasure.
What are we thinking ahead of this second half, Jackson?
I'm excited. I mean, if I was on the Canadian bench, I would definitely be guessing the coach was not happy with that second quarter performance. Australia, they saw the light at the end of the tunnel, really took advantage of it. And they have momentum going into this third quarter. Very much like American football, though, the first drive of the third quarter matters on setting momentum. So we'll see how this translates into tonight's box game.
So we have seen changes in the goalkeepers. There's Canada hit the scoreboard first, move their lead back out to 4. We've got Cooper Seniuk between the pipes for the Canadians, and for Australia, I reckon that's Darcy Martin Liptak. So Lucas Tashon, it's probably, I think, 3 votes for Australia in that first half between the goals, between the pipes. But Darcy, I mean, he had an unreal night against the Canadians the other night, so he'll be feeling plenty of confidence. That's not the start he would have been looking for, but didn't get too much up from his defence, so he'll be looking for a little bit more support as this quarter unfolds.
Yeah, like you said, these athletes, they've been playing all week, so they're dealing with fatigue. Conditions aren't prime when it comes to fatigue. Canadians are not happy with that whistle.
So either way, going the way of Australia, Hall. Green gets in and under, back onto the right, finish, and inside pipe, nice look.
Beautiful shot. We're painting that pipe. That's what the coaches say. Paint pipes, and he surely hit nothing but pipe.
Yeah, really nice finish. I've really liked the look of him. I haven't seen too much of Anthony Green before, but looks like quite a player.
Oh, absolutely. So one less goal that Australia needs to dig themselves out of this hole. Which, 3-goal differential. Australia wins the face-off and pushes it back into the defense.
Just got to be careful here. That pull in front of the goalie, there was no heat from Canada. I wouldn't have minded to see a bit of a forward press there to just help prevent the Australians getting out of their back half. But either way, they drop back. Happy to play 5v5. Ma looks across crease. I don't know if that copped a tip or just a wild pass. Either way, it's coming back Canada's way. Canadians get some fresh legs out there. Still plenty of displeasure, I guess we'll call it, from the Canadian bench. That's to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, the cost turnover, that's a positive in my book. They're definitely aiming for prime execution now.
Yeah, setting some high standards, and that was a high standard goal there from Tobin Dugan, number 4 of the night for him. He's putting together some sort of game.
These Canadians, they're definitely shooting for high excellence. As they should be. It's a business trip.
So just a little touch in the back, and that's enough on this surface to send you flying to the floor. Head over it and reward it.
Puts you on the water skis.
So a little fumble. Where's he's going? Oh, that was a stick into the head, I reckon, on Adam Harper. Play continues, and he didn't like it off ball either. A little cross check to say, don't really appreciate that. Shot denied by Martin Liptak. Nice confidence builder for him. Nabi. Well, that's not a great ball cross court. A lot of work to do here for Spencer Drinkall, and too much work in the end. Or is it too much work? Really well done. That had to be a push in the rear there. That had to be a push.
Vicky stepping in, breaking down the athletes, make sure that there's no escalation there. It's a great job on the officials. Their de-escalation in this game has been subpar.
Yeah, big time.
Sorry, not subpar. Superb.
Yeah, exactly right. They've had a little bit of work to do, but been up to it.
Conditions are not easy for the officials as well.
Not at all.
They do quite a bit of pivoting, a lot of back and forth. So, doing a great job.
Once again, just overrunning the ground ball. You really you can't understate how much you've got to put your head over the ball, and they're going to pay the price here, Australia. Anderson 1v1. Good save, Darcy. Yeah, you can't just overrun the ground ball. You really got to get up and through it.
Ball's up the top for Australia, swinging to the far side.
So Georgian have a little pick and slip. Gets it there in the end to Kernaghan. Good save by Senyuk.
Great effort. Keep on shooting.
So Hall's under plenty of heat. Just needs to get rid of the ball here. That's exactly what it kick again. There we go. They've got the outnumber now, Australia. And they find the back of the cage. That's what happens when you move the ball quickly and early. Goals. Back within 3.
Little moat towards the bench. And they go wild. Like you said, when it comes to lacrosse, statistics prove the more shots you take on goal, the more likely they're going to fall. And that's exactly what that possession was.
Yeah, numbers game. And I really like Fabian Hall got tied up there. You knew that he just needed to get the ball to a teammate. Once they could do that, they had the outnumber, move, get the good shot, hit the back of the cage.
Canada with another face-off win. But Australia jams it.
You can just say all the players.
Big hit.
Yeah, not too sure. They're footing in that middle part in particular where the pools are. Ma looks inside. The man was there in Dylan, but couldn't find him. 5 on the shot clock, so we've just got to get home here, Australia. Got to get home, Australia. A little bit slow to react. No harm done in the end.
Canada with the ball on the far side. Because it's the viewer's near side.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, so we're taking behind the scenes everyone. We are sitting far side of the camera. Right between the player boxes. Good save, Darcy, but...
A little spin move to get open on the backside. Get himself open for the crease cut.
Nice little B to B.
Canadians are bringing down their creativity. Yeah, didn't see a lot of that in the first half.
That's good to see. A nice little roll, swim move from Hatches. Gets himself into some trouble and back out of it, loses it. I think he just tried to hockey that one through. Oh, and some trouble there, and that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate from Darcy Martin-Liptak. Just lost a piece of it.
Not much to say about that. We got to execute those clears. And great job on Canada for stepping up on the doorstep. Pressure matters in this game.
Exactly right, and you can see once you apply that pressure, you can force mistakes, and it's exactly what we saw. Important now for Darcy that he's had not a bad quarter so far. Just got to brush that one aside, make up for it for the next one.
We got a Canadian down, heading towards the bench to sub.
So Majorki keeps it high. Shot clock down to 10 now. They have to pull the trigger. Feed across. Shot from distance. Good sider for Martin-Liptak. And the ground ball is going to sit for Tonelli. But the Canadians cut that off nicely.
Do like a good a slap to the back.
Yeah, no holds barred out here. Well, one in that corner from Canada. Got a couple of numbers forward if they get the ball down there. Slide just to hold things up.
Got a line change here from both squads. Canada with the ball on the far side.
So nice cut, good save. Held the pipe firmly. Now just, there we go. I was going to say, need some help on the clear just to keep that confidence high.
Australia taking control of this possession with 15 seconds left in the shot clock.
Nichols over to Hall. Pass not too great. Less than 5 on the shot clock, so Hall's going to have to let this one loose from distance. They do get the reset, but who's the ball going to fall to?
It's anybody's game. Canada takes up the ball, slows down in transition as Australia already had the defenders up on the defensive side.
And I wonder if it's just been up and back the last few minutes. Jackson, do you think maybe just a little bit of fatigue setting after a few big days of lacrosse?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, no fatigue on that shot.
Got me speechless on that. Well put on the far side upper post. Those shots aren't easy.
Yeah, really nice finish from Canada. I was just about to say that the next goal felt all important, and a 5-goal sounds a lot different to 3.
It does. However, there is a quarter and a half left in this game.
Yep, still plenty of time.
I reckon quite a bit of rain to come down, and when it comes to fatigue, the elements can change that quite a bit. Big hit from Australia, center field. There's going to be a bit of a scruffle. No penalty, though. So they're letting the boys play. It's going to be a Canadian ball.
Just starting to get a little bit more open now, Canada. Some more chances. Becoming a little bit easier. Nice feed inside, looking for around the back. Pass over the top, but it will sit up on this court right now. All collected. Spencer Drinkall, a nice help from his teammate. That's not so great though. Nice work coming from the box from Carter. Geragine feeds inside, tied up immediately. I didn't even notice that they'd wasted all that shot clock. The Aussies.
Yeah, shot clock set at 30 seconds, and those 30 seconds go by quick. Between the second the goalie gets a save to until they're on the offense.
And the 2 green jerseys come out with it in the end, but they've wasted most of that shot clock and forces the long distance shot. Easy save for Cooper Senyuk. Plenty of talk. You might even be able to pick up some of it through the microphone. So plenty of talk between these two sides. There's, they are representing their countries, I guess. We're not at the World Championships, but plenty of feeling when you put on the green and gold or the red and white.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a privilege to wear your country's jersey. There's a saying that's been going around that it's not your jersey. You're borrowing it, and you're representing those that have come before you and those that are going to be after you. So it's a really, really prideful thing for both countries to wear their jerseys.
So Kernaghan. Nice feed to the bottom crease. Another good save there from Senyuk.
Great ball movement. Even better save. We got a penalty on the way.
I think some of that feeling bubbling over. And we had seen the boys behave themselves for most of this quarter. I think that's probably our first foul for the term, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree.
We've got the 6v5. They have taken the goalie off Canada. Down to 5 on the shot clock. So they had behaved themselves for most of the quarter, the Aussies, after plenty of foul trouble early on. First penalty of the third term. Hatches steps down, nice little zip across. Ball movement real sharp now for Canada. Seems like the confidence is really built. And that's a nice save there from Darcy. Needs some help on the clear here. Well, gets it wide.
Jack Higgins shakes off the Canadian to the board. Loses his glove though. Which, fun fact, in box cross, when you lose any of your equipment and you still have the ball, it's technically a turnover. Canada off to the races. 1v1 against the goalie. 2 trailers on the back, and the goalie gets a big stop.
Yeah, he read that really well. Didn't buy the first fake. Held strong. And there's another big chance here. Good awareness there from...
Well, sure that you heard that one.
Yeah, Colin Bloom not too happy with that missed shot. Letting everyone at home know about it. And really good ball. Good save there from Martin Liptak. He's got a big job to get back to his feet here, though.
Yeah, for the Canadians watching, bless your heart, if you are on the west coast of Canada, it's around 3 a.m. So it's about 5:30, 6 a.m. on the east side.
Good save again. We have had a few loyal Canadian watchers over the week that have got up nice and early to catch the action. So hopefully they're all tuning in once again.
If you are, welcome.
Another big save there from Darcy Martin. And they've nearly killed this penalty at Australia.
1 minute left in the third quarter.
And they have killed the penalty. Back to 5v5 out there now.
Nice bounce pass. Even better save.
And just lost sight of that one. That would have been cruel if he'd kicked that into his own net there. So the lacrosse goal is smiling his favour that way just to kick that out to safety. So plenty of Canadian possession here. Gets inside, gets the shot off, and they were banging down the door there.
Australia's keeper wish he had got a piece of that one. I reckon it did hit his leg pad. He's readjusting it right now. Couldn't even imagine what it feels like to wear the goalie gear right now in this swamp of a mess.
It'd be real tough out there.
Yeah, I mean, just wearing the box gear in general weighs quite a bit. So you throw some water onto it, and kids say it's drippy.
Colin Bloom pops that one forward to himself. They'll get the last chance here for Canada, and that's exactly the call from the box. Last possession. Make the most of it here. Hatches, he's just happy to run this clock down. Shot clock about 2 seconds inside game clock. Chikubo gets the shot, missing wide. Again, nearly an unfortunate one for Darcy, but that one falls behind the cage. Plenty of pressure straight on Higgins. Does well enough to get us to three-quarter time.
A little bit of banter going on at the midfield between Australia and Canadians.
And the final break of the 2026 Commonwealth Cup, it's a 6-goal advantage to Canada. They break away in that third term, and they have one hand on retaining the Commonwealth Cup. Thoughts from that quarter, Jackson?
Again, I just got a huge shout out to my favorite team tonight, the maintenance crew, doing the splusion of the water off the court. But I would say, 15 minutes left in this game. It's all Canada's at this point. Australia they did well staying out of the bin on that third quarter. But it's not going their way, unfortunately.
No, they've got a bit of work to do if they're trying to force something here. Anything's possible, but we'll know in the next 15 minutes of play who will be taking home the 2026 Commonwealth Cup. 15 minutes to find the 2026 Commonwealth Cup winner. It's the Canadians that have one hand on it right now. They lead it by 6 goals as we get the fourth quarter underway. Good win forward from Australia. They would know that they are up against it right now, the Aussies, but you would certainly hope that they are going to keep fighting until that final hooter sounds. While this quarter gets underway, nice feed from Fabian Hall. Shot, I don't think there was a reset. Well, there was certainly a reset. So still going are the Aussies. I'll get this quarter underway. Just a reminder for those tuning in here in Australia and even those tuning in from afar, the box lacrosse action doesn't stop here tonight. There's an Australian wide open on the crease. Box lacrosse action does not stop here tonight. We've got the Australian National Box Championships coming up. Well, they started today, and they will run all week until Saturday, where we will have our finals. Big week of box lacrosse coming up here in Melbourne, Australia. So for those in Australia, you probably know already. For those overseas, why not head over to the Australian Lacrosse Network social channels, all the Lacrosse Australia social channels, that shot missing wide. Have a look. You'll be able to see what the schedules are, what the games are upcoming, and be able to catch some more high-quality box lacrosse right here from this venue.
Yeah, I gotta say, these Canadians, they're running. I mean, during that intermission between quarters, we saw a few spiel. They're running, firing on all cylinders, and they're really putting their hearts out for this game.
Yeah, they have a point to prove. There was potentially a couple of whispers before this game that they were maybe not ripe for the picking, but this game was right up for grabs. So I think there was a point to prove, and they've come out and proven it so far, and they won't want to stop with 15 minutes left, or less than 15 minutes now. And they've certainly played with an intensity and a passion all the way from their goalie, and good save, their goalie up to the front court and their coaching staff.
2v1, now 2v2, up on that board.
There is a foul coming as well. We do have our referee in that far corner, hand raised. May as well stop the play now. That ball's not coming out. I would be blowing the whistle.
I reckon there's a stick over the ball. Looks like Jack Haven's holding up the ball saying he has it. How is he going to the bin? Like, doesn't make sense.
It will be Jack that has to sit some time. Was that a hold call? Or a slash? Might have been a slash in the end. So Aussies not unfamiliar with the 5v4. Don't have the stats in front of us, but they've probably played in excess of...
What a great double save.
Great double save. In excess of probably 12 or 13 minutes at least, I would say, of penalties tonight. Good save again.
He's in the glove for that.
Now, I reckon we have seen a change in goalies as well, Jackson. If that's a 99 on the sleeve,
yeah.
that's Luca Blues between the pipes.
Yeah, that was a great triple save on that possession.
Yeah, big time. And coming out just for the one quarter, not an easy job.
Ah.
Did get a couple of warm-up shots during the break, but well,
that was his near side, number 4.
Ashton Szynski. Where there's hope, there's life. Back within 5, Australia. Still plenty of time.
Great step down, mate. So giving hope to the Aussie squad when it's needed most. 11:30 to go in the fourth quarter.
Nicely one there from Tonelli. Under pressure straight away.
Ball's on far side. Skip pass to the near side. Another skip pass to the far side and crease feed. Oh, had us on our toes. Again. There we go. Fakes high, goes low on the near side. The boys are celebrating.
Well, we said it earlier in the night, Jackson, that I'm not saying it with as much conviction now, but there is a little bit of a feeling in the air. They're still a way back with the 4 goals, but that quick back-to-back goals, momentum is swinging.
It's good. Don't want to jinx it, so I won't say it. But I reckon that smell that you're smelling is Aussie grit.
Big time. And, well, another great ground ball from Harper, and he's got Kernigan out the back. And slip it and slide in front of the crease. Hall winds up, only as far as his defender. Nicely done there from Ethan Mart.
Great man ball.
10 on the shot clock. Over to Mart. Was there a piece of the jersey in there? No reset. They do get the reset here, though. Did the shot clock beat them?
Yeah, that pull up at midfield really saved them on that. The ball was going to go over, but we got a little bit of banter going on the defensive side of the Aussies. While this transition
goes down the other end.
Great save. It's swinging the other way. Jack Higgins on the near side, transition. Pulls it out.
So plenty of transition ball right now. Nice around the back, denied.
I need 1, 2!
He's been really good since coming in. Luca Blues made some big saves for the Aussies. And just heaving that to the voice. Nice talk from Nabi.
10 seconds left in the shot clock. Aussies do have momentum. They're on the near side. Skip pass to the far side. Struggles with the handle.
I got to transition back now. Canada will get some fresh numbers on. Here they come from the box. You're just holding things up, waiting for full rotation. So it might sound repetitive, but I think for the next few minutes, next goal is going to be important. Next goal, next goal, next goal.
I reckon there's going to be a bit of an interference here. I'm honestly quite surprised this is going Australia's way.
Yeah, there was a Canadian jersey that ended up on the ground off ball. It's gone the other way. So it's going to sit for a hold.
Tighten it up here, boys. This is the place to be. Forward, tighten it up.
Big power play opportunity, but that shot, we want that one back, Fabian Hall. Hall looks across crease, shot.
Oh,
on the pickup.
With cleanup. Way to get on that scramble. Ball's up, shooting towards.
It's just a pure foot race to the ball now, and it's Canada that come up with it.
Official stops play. Looks like there's a penalty.
Wow, that's a big time penalty for Australia. I've seen the Aussies that have got into foul trouble tonight, but at this, I don't know if it's a crucial moment at the moment, right now, but 2 Canada penalties sitting.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an Australian favor there. And honestly, at this point in the game, with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left, they got to take advantage of anything the officials are giving them.
Yeah, so Hall looks across, early shot, doesn't beat Senyuk. And the goalie is proving the difference at the moment. I don't know how this has happened. They've only got 3 players out in the court, but somehow one of them's ended up free for Canada.
What a save. Australia back on transition. Didn't have quite the handle, but it's going to slow up in the puddle.
Waiting for fresh legs to arrive. Minute left on one penalty, minute and a half on the other for Canada.
All of time and room, and just barely skims the crossbar. Should have a reset.
Yeah, no reset called though, so firing. Who needs a reset when you hit the back of the cage, right?
The ball don't lie.
And well, that releases one penalty for Canada. There's still 1:18 left on the other.
So now a 3-point game with 7 minutes and 47 seconds left. So, Lockie, what do you think Australia needs to do in the last 11 minutes here?
Well, the number one thing they can't do, they can't be going man down. They've got to stay 5 out there. Maybe there's a little bit of ruddling for Canada, so I think if you can, it doesn't help in giving the ball away from the X. If you can get in the nerves a little bit, under their skin a little bit, they've tried to do it, but you've got to do it with some control. If you can drag another foul or two, that's a big opportunity. We are going to pause here. Just sorting out the goals.
So you mentioned that you've been following this tournament all week. Has Canada been playing multiple different teams?
In terms of the setup out on the court?
Yeah, in the schedule.
Yes. In the teams that they've versed?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we've seen a few of the different teams that they've come up across the last week, shot saved. So it's been a collection of players that we're seeing tonight that they've taken on. So at some point or another, they've played all the guys out here.
So in a way, they've had a larger workload than the players combined, right? More games, or is it about
the same amount of games?
Same amount of games,
but
right.
Probably a more consistent workload. Yeah.
Ball's all cut up in the goalie's pads. Hail Mary pass into the offensive box.
Just a little bit lax on that ground ball, Australia, and that's what they can't do. You want to spoke about what they need to do to get back into this game, Australia. They can't drop off the intensity. You have to attack everything at 100%. And that's a big-time ground ball, and you can hear the cheers from the Canadian box. They know how much that ground ball means for them.
Yeah, it was a big win for the Canadians.
And they get the reset as well. That's going to kill the penalty. That's a super, super ground ball. And you don't want to overstate it, but that's a near game-winning ground ball down there. You kill the penalty, you get another possession, and really, they score here. That's party time, I reckon.
Yeah, momentum's going Canada's way, absolutely. Lots of movement on the back. Great ball movement, great off-ball movement. That was just good lacrosse on the Canadian side.
Yeah, big time. Just you could feel the momentum swing just in that one possession there. Able to box out for the ground ball. I don't know who it was, but whoever. When you go back and watch this game back, young man, give yourself a pat on the back because that was an awesome ground ball win. And then to get the reset possession, and then to follow up with the goal. That's just great lacrosse IQ, great execution.
Yeah, we're going to get a push in the back here. It's going to be Australia's ball. Yeah, I mean, ground balls win games. A lot of people believe that goals win games, but it's the small wins that really, they stack on each other in the game of lacrosse.
Shot missing wide from Hall. Feeds back inside to Hall, pushing that one in the opposite direction. Again, another big ground ball win from Canada. Nice pick up off his shoelaces.
What a great handle. Unfortunate finish. It's going Australia's way. There is... Had an opportunity for a transition, but slowed it down.
So just over 5 minutes left in this final quarter. Four goals the margin right now. 4 of these competitions so far. From memory, and I'm happy to be corrected, but this is one of the closest that I can recall. Nice tip there. So you can really see the development that's coming through in the young Australian box talent across, not just here in Victoria where we're playing, but right across the country. It's really exciting to see, and they're probably going to fall just short, the Aussies, the way that we look at it right now. But the fact that we're still, with 4 minutes to play, they're still within a chance of coming back and winning this game. That's progress.
Absolutely. I mean, got to be 1% better each day, and I'd say the future of Australian lacrosse it's bright. There's spirit, there's pride, there's grit, there's effort, and there's a lot of things going on the back ends of things, just the back scenes, and there's a bright future ahead.
You can even see in-game the learnings that they've had. They were in huge foul trouble early on. They've had just the one foul in this second half. Nice work from Koenigan. Gets inside. Save again. They've kept themselves out of the box in the second half, and it's just something that they've picked up on in-game, so it's really good to see.
Absolutely. They're coachable.
Big time.
And it shows.
So Canada just happy to play some long sets, take some air out of the ball. And a nice cut from Harris.
Yeah, Harris with that backside cut. Defenders lost him, and just can't make that mistake at a high level lacrosse event. It's every offensive player's dream is a cut that works.
Yeah, spot on. You can just hear from the Canadian box next to us that they want to play this game out to the very last minute. They aren't happy just finishing this where it stands right now. There's 3 minutes left. They want to sprint across the finish line.
They have a 16-hour flight to sleep on.
Spot on. Just keeping the ball wide at the moment. Cutter's coming back through the top for Hatches.
Great save.
Been really impressed by the 3 Aussie goalies that have sat between the pipes tonight. I thought that Lucas Deshawn was probably quite a margin ahead of the other two, but the other boys have really held their own since coming in as well.
Nice little BTV split there. Didn't go his way. Canada picks up the ball, but there is a penalty on the way. So Australia's going to have a power play here with the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Down by 5.
So it's Aiden Watson that's going to sit for a couple. I think it's a hold is the call, yep. And even to the last couple of minutes, the Canadian coaches still providing some feedback.
They're good with that.
Ball, Dylan, nice cutting that feed inside and trickled all the way through.
Gotta note, the crowd went wild with that power play goal. Lots of bleacher banging, lots of cheering. Again, just Australian lacrosse community, they showed out tonight. Special shout out to all of them who showed up and sat in the rain with us. It's not a dry one.
Spot on. Nice finish from Orlando Koenigan. Great face-off win, but Australia at the ball first. Nice follow-up from Bloom. Goals coming in easily now.
And that's the last thing Australia wants is a win forward and a failure to get the ground ball.
Yeah, probably just one of those late in the game ground ball efforts that we said earlier. In these tough conditions, you really got to put your head over it, run through it. And you can't blame them. It's been a big week for these boys. 4 games of box lacrosse. It was pretty humid.
It's copy and paste almost on that face-off, but yeah, Australia picks up the ball on the offensive side.
It was pretty humid the last few days. Today, a little bit different, but so tough conditions for lacrosse, but they've run out the game nicely, all the boys.
Ball's up and goes back into the team bench for Australia. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game.
They'll certainly be looking to add to this tally right now, Canada. Just over a minute to play. They'll be thinking maybe can we get 2 more.
Yeah, Canada's definitely been playing with the pedal down to the metal.
And good coverage again from Luca Blues.
Coach said earlier, pedal down to the metal for the truckers.
Got to keep the head up. There is a man out the back. They get it there. Harper.
Great handle. Better save. Ball comes out into the puddle. Goalie steps out and gets triple team by Aussies. And Canada is not happy with that.
We are right on the buzzer. This is not really what we want to see right at the end of the game.
No, it's not ideal. And I'll have to say, the Canadian goalie did a great job by separating his teammate from the Australian guy. Australia had some words to say, and there was quite a bit of banter out there on the near side of the crowd.
It's been pretty feisty, this one, but the best part of lacrosse is that I'm confident it will happen, even though it's all sort of blown up with a few minutes to go, a few seconds to go. But we'll shake hands at the end of the game, smile along, depending on how old these boys are, have a soft drink.
Absolutely. Lacrosse is one of those beautiful games where historically it was used to settle disputes between tribes. And in modern day, it is to have fun. Very similar dispute that, but at the end of the game, we are still shaking hands and having a good time. We're just happy to be here to play lacrosse.
So I think it was Fabian Hall, that, just for the record, that was sent to the penalty box. Canada pretty happy to run this one out. They not going to pull the trigger. And that will be that. It's a 17-11 victory to the Canadians. They retain the Commonwealth Cup once again.
Canada's really giving some love to their goalie out there in the puddle. I would not be surprised if they do some diving into the water.
Wouldn't be surprised at all.
I'd keep an eye out for the Canadian social media as their cameraman is going out there.
So that's that for the 2026 Commonwealth Cup. Some really high quality lacrosse this year. It's been a pleasure to be involved with it and sit on the sidelines and watch it all. Jackson, what are your thoughts just as we finish up on that final that we just saw?
What a game. As you said, this is probably one of the closest margin games in history of this event. And I think the future of Australian box lacrosse and just lacrosse in general, it's on the horizon. And I think it's something really excited to be about, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Thank you for having me as a co-host. It's been a pleasure.
Happy to have you, mate. And I just echo your thoughts that I think the passion that was spilling over out there just shows what it means to all of these guys to be involved. And you can see the hugs and the handshakes that go on here, that put all that behind us and really celebrate a great week that was for this event. We'll probably bring you the MVPs once they get to it, but just a couple of notes that before we get there. A big thank you to everyone involved in bringing you this event. You mentioned it before, Jackson, but all of the volunteers involved, that particularly tonight, they were out there squeegeeing the court and pushing away some of that water. The rain is still continuing here in Melbourne, so they've done an absolutely awesome job. To the timekeepers and the scorers and the statisticians, you've all done a fantastic job. And to the people that really make this event possible, the touring Canadian team and their organisers, you guys have done an awesome job. And right here in Australia, Dan Hall and Rod Marr at the Vic Box Lax, always going above and beyond. They'll get their dues, I'm sure, as the Nationals continue next week. And to Rick Benedurks from the Australian Box Lacrosse, he's done a fantastic job bringing this event to life once again. Thanks, everyone. Make sure that you tune in to the Australian Lacrosse Network and Lacrosse Australia channels over the next couple of days, well, from tomorrow. Started today.
Championship game Saturday.
So. Yeah, spot on. So you're able to check out all those games live on the Australian Lacrosse Network. We'll leave you there while the presentations take place.
Thank you, all of you, for great games all week. Way to end it on a real good game. Unfortunately, the weather couldn't help us out tonight. A bit damp, but it's what you get in Melbourne. But great effort for both teams. Congratulations, Canada, 4-0 now. We'll get you at some point. I'm American, so. How'd the Olympics go? I'll start out with the, we'll do the MVP trophies. Start with Australia.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for coming out again. You guys did show your class there tonight. Probably one spot we did get the upper hand was in the face, and it was Jacob Spilkham.
Thanks for bringing us out here, you guys. It was a fun game. It was interesting. It's nice to see you guys grow throughout the course of the weekend. Our player of the game today is going to Big Ben.
All right, we're going to hand out the medals. I just want to again say thank you to all the scorers, the referees, Rick Benedicts, Chris Fox for organizing these things. It's been a great tournament. Who wants to read names? I don't know these guys. You're announcing them up. Come on. Yeah, you. You got to announce them all. Yeah, oh, you're a team. All right, you just say whose name it is. Let's go, man.
Yeah. All right.
You know his name?
Yeah. We got Waddy. Benny. Alex. Cooper. Marek. Mason. Ryder. Oh my God. Logan. Little Ben. Tobin. Aiden. Bloomer. Hour. Me. Todd. Jimmer. Marty.
All right, great work. Thank you again, everybody.